I'm so glad to be in the studio today with a dear young friend of mine um, who I have known for quite a long time. Um, she is a writer. She is a educator, and she also has traveled extensively around the globe. Her name is Nicole A. Schmidt. How are you, Nikki?
I am great. I'm grateful to be here. Excited about the next adventure, which we'll talk about a little later. Excited about past adventures, which we'll also talk about a little later.
If you can just share, how did it
Sure.
become?
The educator part, honestly, special education came later, but high school teacher was always there. So
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
not a problem. I am the wonderful 30 as of
30,
December 21st.
30 years old,
Yeah.
and you have already. How long have you been a teacher?
I was a teacher for 7 years. And then this past semester, I was a part-time professor at a local college in Maryland where I live.
Wait. Can I rewind that?
Sure.
You said part-time professor.
Yes.
Literally, where?
Literally. It's a local college called College of Southern Maryland. I moved to Maryland to go to College Park, go Terps, for undergrad, and I never left. And then I went on to College of Notre Dame, which is now Notre Dame of Maryland University for my master's. And then I went to Bowie State. Shout out to HBCUs. For
Amen. HBCUs. That's right. Tuskegee's in the house.
There you go.
That's right.
And so I went there in order to get my administration certificate. So I could technically be an assistant principal, but God saw something else, which I'm grateful for.
You said something very key just now. You said God saw something else. And that lends me to ask the question, in all that you have accomplished, or all that you have done, or even in the beginning stages of where you began, how was God intricately involved? Because young people need to hear, particularly, you said you're 30 years old.
Yeah.
And give me some stuff, how he had navigated you through, and what he's given you, and how he poured into you.
Programs, Maryland was the one that answered me back immediately and consistently. And then when we went to visit, I literally turned to my mom and said, "This is it. I'm home." God literally downloaded, "This is it." And she didn't believe me for an entire year. And then sophomore year, she was like, "You're serious?" Yeah, I wasn't joking. So there was that, and then everything from that to teaching. I graduated a semester early and still was able to travel throughout Europe before graduation. And then with teaching, I substituted long term for 6 months. And so when it was time to get the job, I got the job. I got free certification, free masters practically. Even in going to China, which is the next journey.
So
God.
so how would you translate, if you were speaking to, and you're going to speak to young people, if a person came up to you that was maybe 12, 15, and you wanted to share with them your experiences, because you have a resume, but in sharing your experiences from the spiritual end of it, how would you incorporate that into the conversation to let them know how God has affected you in that process? What would
It's
you say to them?
always a for me, God. For me, God. This way. And I learned that more at the last school I was at before I went to college, to the college level. That's where I learned how to be an ambassador for God without being overt, without being offensive, without being overbearing. It just so happened, even in that, he orchestrated that because the unit or the curriculum that I had to teach was about culture. So in the curriculum, it addressed and talked about religion. So it gave me the freedom to do the same. I actually even had a student come to me one day and say, "I know that you're a Christian, and so is my science teacher, but he's told me he would never really talk about it because he's afraid of the backlash that would come from it. And I get that. And so he said, but you're free and you do what you, and I said, well, think about the project you guys just created. It had a box for religion. And you guys know that when you do something, I try to give you a template to do it. So that's part of my template. If you ask me who I am, Christian is definitely on the list. And it's even incorporated in the book that's sitting in front of you inside
in the book.
That's right.
In the book that's sitting on the desk right here and right now that we're gonna talk about.
Like
yes,
the way
yes, I like the way that was real cute. I mean, you want some?
It's not reading your Bible to the point where you can't think about anything else. It's not constantly, not that there's not a place for prayer and fasting, but it's about balance. Not only did Jesus sit at the mountain, Jesus went to a wedding. Like there's a balance. He was a carpenter. He had a job.
And turned water into wine because they ran out.
That's exactly. Not because he wanted them to drink. It was a cultural thing. It made them look good. There's way more to it. So don't just read your Bible, study it. But at the same time,
I like that.
At the same time, yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's all encompassing and it's meant to be enjoyed.
We're here at WGBB 1240 AM on your dial. And we're also here at www.gospelcelebration1240.com. And we'd like you to call in. You might have a question or a word of encouragement. I'm sitting here with Nicole A. Schmidt. Let's talk about your book.
Sure.
Let's talk about your book. Where did that come from?
So every poem in that book, it's a collection of poetry. It's an anthology. But every poem was written from the ages of 14 to 19. So for me, it was my way of being able to express any emotions I was going through as a teenager, because they're natural. That was one of the reasons I wanted to be a high school teacher. A lot of times people give up on teenagers. They think it's either too late, there's too much attitude, or they're not old enough yet. They don't really know what they're talking about. They're just going through. And they are going through, but they need to know that that's part of the process. It's okay. There's a way to do it, but it is okay. It is normal, and it will be over. And so that was my way of being able to get through that myself. And then finally everything, even once again, God, within a month, after a year of letting it be edited and so on, but it took about an entire month to get everything pieced together and then be able to.
And I like the title of the book. The title of the book is Inside a Young Soul. I like that.
Thank you.
A young soul. Not a young body,
Right.
not a young person, but a young soul. Because each of us have a soul that we have to address, we have to deal with, we have to respond to. So it says a poem anthology and workbook. So there are some exercises you can do in this book for young girls to truly celebrate and explore their beautiful nature. This is wonderful. You have, and this was done in 2009.
So it was copywritten with Congress in 2009.
Okay.
But it wasn't published until March of 2015.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And where can people get this book if they want this
They
book?
can go to Amazon. It's
Okay.
available on Amazon. There is both a hard copy, I should say, not hardcover. And then there's also a Kindle version. They can go to my website, which is nasrights.wix.com /nasrights. They can also go to createspace.com /5269799. It is $10 on the website and on CreateSpace. Obviously on Amazon, it's been there for a while, so it's $9.40, as well as other cheaper options. So.
And the name of the book again is Inside a Young Soul. The thing that has not taken place. Consequently, the name of my show. Are you ready? So I put the question to you because I ask everyone, whether I'm on the mic or not, if he were to come at 6:30 tonight, would you be ready?
From a spiritual perspective, I'm definitely more ready than I've ever been. in that the time that I've been given, I've used it wisely, and that there have been people who now know him, may not have accepted him, but they definitely know him and can't deny that they do because of our encounter. I can say that that's true.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think you've helped someone I think you've helped young people, because there are struggles that young people have. They have so many distractions today. I thank you for that. And I look forward to you coming back and letting me know how China was.
I will.
And what the Lord showed you over there.
Yes.
And what you did over there to promote the kingdom. I'd like to leave all of you with one thing. I usually say this at the end of the broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in again. Please continue to tune in with us here at Are You Ready? The shortest distance between a problem and a solution is the distance between your knees and the floor. Prayer changes things. Continue to pray. Continue to do the work of the kingdom. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in.